Welcome to Mind Liberation Conversation. Every single moment of every single second exists in the eternal moment of now. Alright, so, sounds fantastic. What does it mean? Years ago I read a book. The book was called Conversations with God. And the very interesting about the book was, the interesting thing about that book was there was a part within the book where God actually said every single moment of every single second exists in the eternal moment of now. So basically what that means is the past and present and future are all happening at exactly the same time. Okay? And it's basically just layered one over the other. So the reason I'm actually talking about this is the fact that if you have a goal and you're looking to, create a certain mindset and you're looking to, create a certain thought process of things you want to achieve in your life, you need to be careful in the way you vocalize your goals in terms of who you would like your identity to be. For instance, you need to ensure that when you do create this new identity for yourself, you're always using the words I am, okay? Because I am is basically a destination. You don't want to use anything that actually invokes that anywhere along the way it's going to require a process to get to a certain, destination, okay? For instance, you can say something, if you say, I will be rich, then you will be rich for the rest of your life. Because if every single moment of every single second exists in the eternal moment of now, and you identify yourself as someone who will be rich, you will be rich for the rest of your life. You won't actually be rich, you will be becoming rich. So you will never actually be your goal. Or if you say, I will be happy, okay, then for every single moment of every single second, you're going to will be happy, or I want to be stronger. For every single moment of every single second, you're going to exist in an identity of being, wanting to be, and not actually achieving. So when you're actually creating your identity of yourself, when I say identity of yourself, what is your I am? Who are you? What is your I am? Okay? You're looking to change it from the negative self-destructive belief that you have, or maybe it's not negative and self-destructive, maybe it's just not a belief that serves you anymore in terms of your identity of yourself, and you're looking to recreate yourself, right? Well, when you're looking to do that, the important thing is to not have time attached to the result. So you're not on the way to something, you are. So, I am powerful. I am successful. I am beautiful, right? You are at the end, at the destination. When you're actually creating your identity, you want to be at the end, you want to be at the destination of who you are, and not the process of becoming. It's okay to say to yourself in a sense of, okay, by the end of the month, I'll have enough to buy a car. That's just something that's proclaiming within yourself that you're intending to achieve. There's a very big difference between that and creating an identity of yourself with time attached to it. You don't want to have anything that you're creating for yourself where you actually have time attached to a destination. What you want to have is you want to have the result. So if you see yourself as someone who's going to be fit, you say to yourself, well, I am an image of total fitness. Yeah? I am a fitness machine. You're already at the end, at the destination of where you want to be with it, and not what you're moving towards. Okay? Now, the other thing I'd like to, bring to light here is the fact that if you are looking to recreate yourself, okay, one of the best ways to do this is create something what I call an idle conversation. Now, how an idle conversation works is, the only reason you believe certain things about yourself is because of the fact that you've repetitively said to yourself over years, and you've basically created this identity of yourself within your own mind. Now, the mind is easily malleable and can be shifted and can be changed. And what it actually takes to do that is consistency and being repetitive. So if you have a conversation or a belief within yourself that you say, I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or whatever else, you can actually shift that conversation quite easily by creating a new conversation you have with yourself, a new belief system. And how you create the new belief system is through repetitive thought. So what you should do is write an identity of yourself that actually empowers you and makes you feel like, a different version of yourself. And then embrace that and embody that identity and say it to yourself 1,000 times a day. You might have become the way you were because, you've been saying something to yourself for 30 years. So in order for you to shift that, all you need to do is take that same process that programmed you in that way and now create a new thought process and say that to yourself 1,000 times a day. My example for you guys to understand this, 9 years ago I started to say to myself every single moment of every single second, life is amazing. And I started saying that 9 years ago. I'd wake up in the morning, life is amazing. Get in my car, life is amazing. Driving to work, life is amazing. Get cut off by traffic, life is amazing. Get a bill, life is amazing. And I said it so many times to myself that I'm at the point now that I could be doing anything, getting into my car, waking up in the morning, having a bad day, and I still hear the thought process in the back of my mind. It's not a negative and self-destructive thought process. All I hear is the words, life is amazing. So there's just some things to have a look at in terms of just because you think you are the way you are and you can't shift, the only reason you are the way you are, the only reason you have the thought processes you do is because of a repetitive, consistent thought process and behavior which you've actually gone through, okay? And I like to call it sleepwalking through life. But now you've been awoken. Now you're self-aware of the fact that you do not have to be that way anymore. So try it. Write yourself something down on a piece of paper that empowers you and makes you feel like you're in control and makes you feel accomplished. I am an image of all perfection, or whatever you look to identify yourself as. Write it down and repeat it to yourself 1,000 times a day, no matter what's going on, no matter what you're feeling, no matter what you're experiencing. And sooner or later, it will start to shift. You got to think of it like if you had a giant pool, and on one side you had red dye, and that red dye has been dripping in for 30 years. That pool might be 3/4 of the way red, if not all the way red. So in order for you to change that pool to a blue dye, you've got to turn on that other tap, and you've got to turn it on 5 times faster. You've got to increase the flow and have more amount of that thought process coming in to overturn the other one. But you've got to remember, if you were a certain way for 30 years or 15 years or however long you've been alive, then don't expect this to work overnight. Exactly like you'd go and do, exactly like you'd go to the gym or learn an instrument, whatever else, it takes repetitive, constant action and dedication and keeping in mind that what is the benefit of me doing all this? I get something really great out of it. This has been Mind Liberation Conversation. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.